Oh hey, that's me. Hey everybody, Lance the Pants here, and today, welcome to Pokemon SoulSilver. I love that little intro bit of Lugia flying to the screen. It's so cool, and I can't talk over that because of how cool it is, but to get to the main point, this is Pokemon SoulSilver. This is, as you probably do know, is the remake of Pokemon Silver. Obviously, Pokemon Heart Gold is the remake of Pokemon Gold. Starting off, these, as I said before, are remakes of the Gen 2 games, and they do cover a lot of the content that you will get in Pokemon Crystal. These games are fantastic, I love them, and I'm very, very excited to cover them. And there's the title screen, obviously. Like I keep saying, it is Pokemon SoulSilver, and as you probably, if you know who I am, or if you've never watched a video before of me, or heard me talk about Pokemon, these are my favorite Pokemon games ever. Obviously, they're probably, well, I mean, they're my favorite Pokemon games, but these are also one of my favorite games of all time. I really do love the Pokemon Gen 2 games, and only Gen 4, because these are part of Generation 4, but still. Here's Professor Oak here, wearing that tan suit. I hate that tan suit. It looks terrible. I don't know why he wears it, but he's here to ask us questions and tell us about the world of Pokemon. I feel bad for Professor Elm, who we will see in a little bit, who, normally when these games start, you'll get the Professor talking about, you know, the world of Pokemon and how vast it is. But instead, in this game, it's Professor Oak. I kind of fused Elm and Oak there with Elk, Professor Elk. But he's gonna ask if you're a boy or a girl, and while I do like the girl design in this, well, in the remake, I have to go with the boy design. In the mangas, he is known as Gold, but I think his actual name for the remakes is Ethan. But Ethan sucks. He's Gold, but instead we're gonna go as Lance because that's my name. Obviously, kind of like Fire Red and Leaf Green, the main trainer designs did get changed a little bit. Gold specifically didn't get changed that much, but the girl did. So with the original Gold and Silver, you could only play as a boy. When they made Crystal, though, you could play as a girl named Crystal who had blue hair. Instead, her design has changed, and as we see this email, her name is Lyra. I don't really know why they changed the character design. I don't know if it's something they wanted to do. I know they had to make an actual girl design for Fire and Leaf Green, because you couldn't play as a girl then, but still, it's very odd. And it's a Wii. The Wii... I like the little things like the Wii is huge in Johto as well, so yeah. And bringing it up, we are officially in the Johto region, and our mom's here because she's our mom. I will say, if you're ever going to experience Pokemon, well, the Johto game specifically, I'm going to start this out earlier, only in the first 3 minutes, but I think I should have mentioned. While these games now are difficult to come across, I do recommend trying to play these games if you ever want to experience Johto. And I say this because of the vast quality of life differences these games have. And obviously with a remake, they usually should improve things. But these games add so much compared to playing like Crystal or Soul, or playing Silver or Gold, you know. I mean, it's obvious, like I said, because it's a remake, but Gen 4, even though I'm not the biggest... I don't want to say I'm not the biggest fan of Diamond and Pearl. I like the Gen 4 games. They're good games. It's just how slow they are is what I don't like. Thankfully, because these were the last games to come out, main series games, not like the Gen 4 series, well, the Gen 4 generation, you know? Because by this point, we'd already had... Diamond and Pearl were already out. Platinum had came out the year before this game came out. This game definitely is nowhere near as slow compared to Diamond and Pearl, and even Platinum. Platinum is faster than Diamond and Pearl, but still. This Professor Elm, he's definitely the least interesting professor in the series, and I hate saying that because I love Generation 2 and I love Johto, but Professor Elm is just kind of a... He's like the version Professor Elm and the Chad Professor Oak is how I look at it. But he's going to tell us that he wants us to go run something up to his friend, Mr. Pokemon. And to do that, you know, we also... He's about to say this. Come on. We get to choose a Pokemon. And I love the 3 starter Pokemon we get to choose. So, we have Cyndaquil, who is the Fire-type Pokemon. We have Totodile, which is the Water-type. And Chikorita, who no one likes. I joke. Chikorita's great, but we're going with my main man, Cyndaquil. I know choosing Cyndaquil is what everyone does, and, you know, it's kind of expected, but listen to me. Cyndaquil is my favorite starter Pokemon in the entire series, and I have a soft spot for Cyndaquil because Pokemon Silver was the first Pokemon game I ever played. I remember my brother had it on our Game Boy Color, and I remember playing it, and I would restart it all the time, and I would always pick Cyndaquil. So because of that, I always have loved Cyndaquil. I have played as Totodile in an, I'm having a remember right here, in a playthrough of Silver, but I have never played as Chikorita, oddly enough, in any of the Gen 2 games. I have used the Cyndaquil before in a playthrough, but not of Gen 2, well, of like this Gold, Silver, Crystal games. I've used one, like, to play, like, with friends, like, competitive, like, playing with friends, like, online battles in Gen 4, like, with Platinum and stuff, and in Gen 6, but I've never really used Chikorita before. It's nothing, like, let me just say this here. There is nothing wrong with Chikorita. Chikorita's not a bad Pokemon. The issue with Chikorita in this game is that Cyndaquil and Totodile are better in every single way. In terms of evolutions, how the game goes on. So, you've probably known, if you've watched my Fire Red Let's Play, how, I brought this up before, but usually when you pick your starter, it's kind of like depending on, like, the hard mode, or, like, normal mode, like, your difficulty for the game, I find. So, if you pick Cyndaquil, you're gonna have a better chance of fighting the bosses later on. It's not really a major deal until maybe the second gym, because the first gym leader, you can fight it with Totodile and still be fine. But Chikorita has a problem where Chikorita's gonna really suffer against the first 2 gym leaders, and the later ones. I only think there's maybe 1 to 2 gym leaders in this game who Chikorita does not have a hard time fighting against, so yeah. And our mom's gonna tell us how to use our Pokegear. It's basically your telephone. I like the Pokegear. They kinda got rid of it in a way. Well, not really, because you have it in Gen 3 and Gen 4 in a way as well, so I'm kinda dumb. But I know, later games have, like, the X-Transceiver. I think it's Gen 5, which is kind of the same thing, but yeah. And I haven't brought this up. I know I'm going, like, mile a minute talking about things, but I have a lot to really get in this video. One thing I really love about SoulSilver and Heart Gold is that your Pokemon follow you. Obviously, this was in Pokemon Yellow. In return for this game, the first time it had been seen since then. Well, sort of. Pokemon Platinum lets you do this in that little garden thing you could do, but I don't really count that. And our first Pokemon battle is Hoot Hoot, which Hoot Hoot, you can probably guess, is your Pidgey, your Tailo, whatever, of the Johto region. Hoot Hoot's not a bad Pokemon, it has Foresight. I've used a Hoot Hoot before. It evolves into Noctowl, which can get a lot of Psychic-type moves. Hoot Hoot for the early game isn't bad, but I'm gonna be upfront when I say I do think there are better Pokemon you can pick over a Hoot Hoot. I don't really give a hoot about Hoot Hoot, you know, but it does, like I said, it evolves into Noctowl and gets Psychic-type moves. That can come in handy. Honestly, for the first gym, I can't argue about getting a Hoot Hoot, but I will not be getting one. So yeah. But I just need to go back to this. Is like, I really do love, one thing I brought up already, like, the Pokemon following you. That's one thing I really like about these games. Like, that's something they didn't have to bring back, but they did, and I really like they did it. And it would disappear after this game, unfortunately. It wouldn't come back until Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And I love it. I know, I think the Crown Tundra DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of bring it back, but I kind of hope in the future we can just have Pokemon following you again, because it's really cool, and I love that they do that. Like, it's not a big deal, but I like talking to them and stuff when they're behind you and seeing how they react and stuff, which also applied to when this game came out, because you had the Pokewalker, and the Pokewalker was really cool. So it's like this little Tamagotchi thing you have, and I'm moving my hands like I'm sitting here talking like you can see me, and I don't know why. But it was a really cool thing. So the Pokewalker, basically, and here's Rattata. Everybody knows Rattata. It's a normal type, not very good. We're also going to Eradicate. But, the Pokewalker is cool, where it's like a little Tamagotchi thing, where you could take it with you, like, put a Pokemon, like, say I want to put Cyndaquil in my Pokewalker, and I could take it to school and walk with it, and it would raise its happiness, and I think it could gain levels and stuff as well. It was really cool. I never took mine to school, because I was always afraid it would get stolen, and I mentally just forgot a lot. But it's one of those things like you can leave in your backpack and just kind of walk around, and your Pokemon would get level up or increase your happiness, which comes in handy if you have like a Pikachu or an Eevee who evolve via happiness. Or not, no, Pikachu evolving happiness is in Gen 7 for Alola Raichu. Not, that's... it's so weird coming back to these games, like, now that we're, like, 4 gens onward. It's very strange, because, like, the last time I did a Pokemon LP was Fire Red, and that was, like, right when Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out. But, this old guy here will show us, just the basic tutorial stuff, like what a Pokemon Center is, you know, what's a Pokemart, stuff like that. You already kind of know what this is if you've seen my other Pokemon LPs. I mean, I've done 2 of them, 3 if you count Sword, which got canceled, but still, I mean, I've done XD Gale of Darkness and Fire Red at this point, so you probably know what a Pokemon is. If you don't know, listen, at this point, if you don't know what Pokemon is, I'm very sorry, but you're living under a rock, and it's kind of sad. But these games always have these. One thing I don't like about Gen 2 is I do think the first 30 to 40 minutes of Gen 2 are pretty slow, but that's really about it. Like, once you get to going, I feel like these games fly by. Gen 2 in particular, the pacing in this game is great. Like, once you get past the tutorial stuff, it's very fast. Like, it's one thing I kind of hated about Gen 7 was how slow it was, but yeah. We're also in a new town. This is Cherry Grove Town. I never really brought it up originally, but, the first city we're in was called New Bark Town, and it's based off of Shinjuku City. I think that's how you say it, Shinjuku City. I don't know how you pronounce it. And, a really cool thing I like about this town is in Gen 2, it is described as a town where the wind blows and tells of impending change. However, for the remakes, that's changed to Winds of a New Beginning. I don't know why they changed that, but it's very strange. But I love the cities in Gen 2. One of my favorite things about Generation 2, and we'll get into this as we get to other towns, is I love the environment of Gen 2. Like, it's a very interesting setting, and I love Generation 2. You'll see more as I go throughout it, but I really like it. Also, I didn't bring this up while he was talking, but this guy gives you running shoes. And a really cool thing about these remakes compared to other Pokemon games is just, like, you probably see that little thing, like, on the second screen there with the menu screen. There's little shoes. If you click on that, you will constantly run, so you never have to hold down the B button or anything to run, and I love that they do that. I wish more games would let you do that. Because, like, I know you can always use your bike to just ride around everywhere, but being able to run constantly is great. It definitely hurts you because one thing about Generation 4 that I haven't brought up yet is I feel like the encounter rate got massively increased in Gen 4. Particularly these games. It's something I didn't really remember until playing these. And it might be because I recently played through Pokemon Sword, where you, like, most of your Pokemon will just kind of walk up to you, so you can kind of dodge a lot. But I feel like the encounter rate in Gen 4 was so much higher for Pokemon. Like, just the, like, getting random encounters. But, yeah. And right here we have an Apricorn. Apricorns, I'll go over them later, but you definitely want to get these because they can come in handy for a lot of legendary battles we'll get into later. So if you can find them, definitely get them. Also, one thing I really like is when the trainer goes to take an Apricorn out of a tree, he definitely humps the tree. It's very funny. And I've done this from a lot of other Pokemon LPs, but it's the first one you've ever watched on the channel. Any random battles I am going to edit out because it just eats up time. If it's a new encounter, I will keep it in, but if it's just like a, Rattata for the bajillionth time, I am going to edit it out because it makes pacing go by a lot faster, so yeah. But here's the house we're going to go to find Mr. Pokemon. And looky there, he's not wearing the tan suit now, but it's Professor Oak, or Professor Elk. It's Joe Rogan's best friend is Professor Elk, that's really what it is. But a cool thing, I didn't really bring up the, well, we got the mystery egg, but a cool thing talking about the anime is when the Johto series started, which, mind you, the Johto series is really when I kind of, I watched most of it, but I definitely think Johto was when the series got filler heavy with the anime, but when the series started, Ash actually came to Johto to deliver the GS ball, which was really cool. Which I think, apparently, there's a rumor I saw the other day talking about the current anime Pokemon Journeys. They're actually going to go back into detail on the GS ball, which is really cool. Well, it's neat because I like that they're going into, like, doing the, like, they do, like, a different regions. It probably feels more fresh, the bits I've watched of Journeys. Oh, yeah. And yeah, as he's bringing up here, Professor Oak is going to give us the Pokédex. It's still weird to me that Elm isn't the one who gives you the Pokédex. I just don't like that. I feel like Elm should have done more. Like, don't get me wrong, Professor Oak is great, but I like Elm. I wish they would have done more with him, but you get what you get. Professor Oak, really, we won't be seeing him much in this adventure, so if you're wanting to see more Professor Oak and him banging Ash's mom, that joke is beat to death, I know. Don't get to see much of that. That's not good. So, Professor Elm, something really bad has happened at the lab, and we have our mother there. You know, we could ask her, where's Mother 3 again? I actually, this is off topic, I do think eventually Mother 3 is going to come out. I really do think. I think if we've gotten Final Fantasy VII Remake and Cloud and Smash, I really think that we're going to eventually get Mother 3 in English. Well, like official release, not like the fan release, but... Also, the music in general. I know I've been talking a lot, and I'm going to bring this up multiple times throughout this LP. The music in Generation 2 is so good. Talking about great music, this guy's theme, the Passerby Boy, his theme is fantastic, and he has a Totodile, which is good. It's the other Pokemon Professor Elm had, don't know how he got it, you know, who would have guessed why, you probably already know. But, he has a Totodile, so this guy will have Totodile, which if you pick Cyndaquil, like I said, he'll have Totodile. Totodile will Scratch and Leer. If you pick Chikorita, he'll have a Cyndaquil with Tackle and Leer, and if you pick Totodile, he'll have Tackle and Growl and Chikorita. I definitely think this Totodile fight is very difficult. You can definitely lose this fight. I think I've always, as far as I know, I think you can lose the first rival battle against anybody. Spoilers, this is a rival for the game. This is my favorite rival. We'll get into more why later, but I really like this guy, but his design is cool. I like Totodile. I think in the canon, technically, if you like the mangas and stuff, he always picks Totodile, which I understand. But I really like the Gen 3 starter. Gen 3. I like the Gen 3 starters, but I like the Gen 2 starters as well. And we get level 8. One thing I will say, I'll talk about this when Cyndaquil gets its later evolutions, but it makes me sad what happens to Cyndaquil when they eventually get to the 3D model games. It's very, very sad. Yeah, we saw his name. The Passerby Boy runs off. This song is really good as well. Like I said, I know I'm kind of just trying to get a lot of stuff out, and I'll definitely get more relaxed talking about other Pokemon stuff when we get to the later episodes, but I love these games, and I really am glad I'm able to finally do these for an LP. These games just mean a lot to me. They're one of my first video games I ever played, but they're also some of my favorites, and I just love Generation 2 and the Johto games. I know this is Generation 4, but I still call it Generation 2. It is Generation 4 because it has a lot of the special split that Gen 4 brought in, but still. But yeah, the cop wants to immediately assume it's us for some reason, just because we have a starter Pokemon. And that poor Chikorita's still sitting there, alone. What's funny is that Chikorita eventually will go away if you come back here to visit, but we get to name this guy, and normally a lot of people just kind of name their rival, like Jerk-Off or Asshat and stuff. And normally I would give him a name of like a friend of mine or a dumb name, but because I really love Generation 2, and this is one of my favorite Pokemon characters, I have to give him his canon name, which is Silver. Silver is a very good character for the series. In the mangas, he's even more interesting, and throughout the remake, they actually kind of give him more character and more of a backstory, which I really like, and I'm going to try my best to cover that as much as possible. But Lyra will leave, because she's Lyra. We never do battle her. She kind of just randomly pops up, and I know she isn't like a character in the remake, well, a character like in the originals, but it would have been cool if she was like another side rival like they added into the game, or just something neat, I don't know, or if you got like an optional area where, because one thing I loved about this games is they did kind of DLC right in a way, before DLC really was much of, DLC was a thing when these games came out, but like, these games just gave you random updates for stuff, and that was incredible, instead of making you pay for it. Probably because the DS couldn't do DLC, but you got random updates for, like, new legendary Pokemon, or, like, the mystery gifts were great, and, oh, I love them, but, yeah, I'm rambling. And he's telling us here about the gyms. So, next time on Pokemon SoulSilver, after we talk to our trusty, happy little Cyndaquil, it's so cute and cool, we are going to go on our first route and head towards the first gym. So join me then for that. I love this game. I hope you guys enjoy the LP. I'm very happy to finally be doing this game. So yeah, join me next time, and you guys have a great day.